1, 2, 3, 4.
This is one of my favorites out of Phase 1, mostly due to some of the plot elements and characters being pretty corny, but I think it's kind of charming. It makes me feel like I'm watching a comic strip from the 40s play out. But damn, what a tragic waste of Natalie Dormer.
Bisou, bisou, bisou.
To me, this is the one movie that has aged the worst out of Phase 1. There are a lot of camera and editing techniques that reek of early 2000s filmmaking, but besides that, I like it.
Bisou, bisou, bisou.
In all honesty, I haven't seen this movie until recently, and when I did, I had my expectations very low. That said, I was pleasantly surprised. It's not a superhero movie really, it's more of just a man trying to survive. Despite some plot holes, a bit of stale performances, and some subpar writing, it's not bad. What about it? Once again, some techniques used here don't really age well. Yet, I liked seeing the humanization of Thor, him literally and figuratively being brought down to Earth, and truly starting his journey to become the God of Thunder. I would have liked a more prominent soundtrack though. This is perhaps the comic book movie of comic book movies. The Avengers money shot has been cemented in film history. But damn, why are there so many convenient plot elements?
Zooby, zooby.
What about it?
Bisou.
Let's check the box of ideas. It would seem we're all out of ideas. This is one of my favorites out of the entire MCU. I love the espionage, the music, the fights, and good God, the helicarriers. This movie made Steve Rogers my favorite Avenger. Another one of my favorites out of the MCU. This came out before my sophomore year of high school, and man did it leave an impression. Marvel's power of taking unpopular characters and making them fan favorites started with Guardians of the Galaxy, as well as starting a real tasty trend of vintage vibes. Ronan was boring though. Volume 2, along with the rest of Phase 3, had a lot to do with family. It was more personal to the Guardians and expanded on their dynamic together. Because when you think about it, in the first movie, they were slapped together and took it upon themselves to save the galaxy. Here we see their bonds tested and are brought closer together. This shot alone was worth the price of admission. The rest was pretty cool too. No one knew what to expect of Ant-Man when it came out, but an Edgar Wright-style heist movie with Luis's storytelling, I was smiling the entire time in the theater. Finally a Spider-Man I can relate to, and an Aunt May I'm very confused by. Even though I didn't like what they did with some Spider-Man characters like Flash and MJ, I loved seeing Peter's compassion and innocence, and I can't wait to see where this Peter Parker goes in the MCU. They could have done a lot more with the hero versus hero element, but to fit as big an arc from the comics and still have it be impactful in 2.5 hours, I thought they did really well. I bet you they had a lot of fun sparking fandom wars with this one. Let's see here. A troubled white protagonist seeks knowledge and skill from a foreign sanctuary and masters it in a short amount of time, then must avenge the death of their master. Sound familiar? Ragnarok saved Thor's trilogy, in my opinion. It gets rid of everything shackling Thor, holding him back, and he becomes the God of Thunder. Or lightning. What really did it for me though was Kate Blanchett as Hela. Because she hella fan, you know what I'm saying? Ragnarok saved Thor's trilogy, Black Panther saved the MCU. Phase 2 Marvel villains didn't go down as particularly memorable. Yet Killmonger goes to show that the most compelling story element is family. He left an impression on T'Challa and actually changed his character. And that's what good villains do. They drive our hero to do what they never have. And that's also a good summary for the other Phase 3 villains. They challenged our heroes physically and emotionally. I just rewatched all the Phase 1 movies recently, and it really feels like a humble beginning. To see where the franchise has come now is perhaps a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I don't think we'll ever get another culmination of events like this in cinema ever again, because we certainly know DC isn't going to do it. So those are some of my thoughts on all the MCU films so far. My review for Infinity War is going to be a bit late, but that doesn't matter because we're all seeing it anyway. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.